All right, here with Will. What's up, buddy? Last day. We're kind of wrecked. It's been a hard week of making videos. A lot of training.
You have to film each other?
Yep. We are filming each other. And today we're doing the Spectrum. We're headed out to the Spectrum. Well, I want to try something kind of fun. We have chest GoPros. We're going to see who can have the lowest normalized power. Talk about some pack skills that can save you energy. And I think I'm gonna waste this guy. We're about the same weight, so it makes sense.
I'm so lazy.
We're gonna out-lazy each other. Hang in there.
All right, so we had some fun on the way out. This is the Spectrum competitive group ride. It's almost like a race, but we get turned around, and that is when we are hitting the lap button right now, and the race has officially begun. Will, you there?
I am here.
Yeah, so it is a race for who can do the least amount of power. Just like we said, we are racing from point A, which we just began, to point B. Your power is gonna enter the screen here in just a second. Here are the rules, though. You can't get dropped, right? You got to keep your hands on the bars, no hand slings. There's your power. No Madison action. And lowest normalized power for this 6-kilometer segment. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel like I had a great approach to this. I was thinking at the beginning of this test that normalized power was based off of like the pedaling power you did. So I was just approaching it with, I'm going to keep pedaling for this whole thing. Like, I'm just not going to coast, and then it's going to be super low. Like, I'm just going to do 40 watts as much as possible. But it was actually harder to stay in the group than I imagined it.
Yeah, if you're looking for just tiny little gains here and there, like I see you moving up on the right, and also I see that you are aero, bro. I realize the GoPro is sliding down your chest a little bit, but you are aero, as am I. That was one big thing I kept thinking about, is like, I need to get as aero as I possibly can. But you just went out in the wind just for a moment in order to pass a couple of riders. Now this is important, because if the further you are up the group, the further you can fall back on a climb, because this isn't a perfectly flat bit of road that we're going down.
Right. Yeah, I was trying the old sag where you get to the front of the group and then fall back as far back as you can to the back of that group. I have used this in so many bike races. And to success, you know, it saves you a lot of power on that uphill. You don't have to surge, and it can feel really nice if you do it well.
But see, now you're eating some wind, though, and you're doing 140 watts, and I was doing 0 for a while, so that was a little win for me. But like you said, now you're up further up in the pack. You're ahead of me at this point, so you can sag something, which it looks like you're doing right now. You're going to fall back a bit, because now we're going up a little bit of a roller, and here you are, my camera falling back, and Now I should start doing the same thing, because you're doing 0 watts, and I'm doing over 200, and I'm looking back even. I'm like, how far back's he gonna roll? I'm also looking back to find out, like, where's the end of the group, because the last thing I want to do is get dropped and then have to chase back on. That would absolutely kill your normalized power number. So we're both playing the game right here, where it's like the minimum amount of power to stay in contact with the group, but man, I'm letting this gap open a little bit, hoping some of these riders will come around me.
Yeah, you really are. That is a decent gap you've got going on
Super
there.
tucking, yes.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes.
I see. I remember now. I let this little gap open up because I think we came over the top of a roller. So I was able to conserve some of that speed over the top. I wasn't overly concerned about that small gap. And yeah, we're both doing about 175 watts right here. You're going to take one for the team, do a massive pull.
I think this is one of the advantages that you had this entire week I was out in California, is you know these roads. You've done them plenty of times. And I had seen this road coming back the other way for the sprint, but you kind of know, being a local, where that group's going to come back together. And I was a little bit more nervous there that we weren't actually going to catch back on.
I've only done this Spectrum group ride about 6,000 times. So yes, advantage Jeff. Same with Out at LV. So if you guys missed that video, check it out. We had Will come out and race my beloved Alviso, and that was one of the key takeaways I talked about in the commentary. Was like, I know all these riders. I know this corner. You could drop me, and I could look at a square foot of that course, and I would know exactly where we are on the course because I just know every little nook and cranny. But here we are again on this second roller. Speaking of knowing this course really well, I know exactly where we are. This is probably 5% or 6%. It's very short-lived. But you can see it's forcing us to do some work. Now you are playing a dangerous game, my friend. You are falling back, well, you're behind me, and I'm looking back constantly, checking where you are. But I remember this moment. Do you remember this? Like, we were about to get popped. Like,
yeah.
We were about to go off the back. I think there were 1 or 2 more riders behind us, and that's it.
Yeah, this is a nervous little moment, and a moment I am used to. In races, this has happened to me plenty of times. You just have to be cool and calm, and know you're going to get back up to that, and save as much energy as you possibly can doing that.
This is Donnie in front of me in the pink. I paid him $20 after the race. I was like, thanks, bro. Keep it local, buddy. Let's gang up on the pro, Will. No, he did me a solid here, though. And you're doing a little bit more work here just to get back into my draft. But it's a funny thing because, like, every instinct, like when there was a gap in front of me, like there was in front of you a second ago, is like, well, let me just do 350 watts for 5 seconds and just get back in the draft. But you have to be aware. This is a test of normalized power. Oh, you're gonna pass me on the right? Hell yeah! making his move up the right-hand side. I'm gonna do the same because we have 1 more roller before the finish. And I think you saw that coming because I can see you moving up the right-hand side. I'm doing the same. We're finding this little gap here where you can move up and you can get some kind of side draft from these riders on the left. I do remember this moment coming into the bottom of this hill. I did not want to let you get up, 20, 30 meters ahead of me because that would have been a big problem. I wouldn't be able to sag the climb. My
goodness, was I hoping you were not on my wheel for those, but you were tight on that wheel there. That was a good move. Yep.
Dodging this rider on the left. Make sure you don't use any brakes, right? Anytime you touch the brakes, that is energy that goes from your legs into heating up your brake pads. That is not what you want to do.
Nope.
Especially in this test, which is more important than any race will ever do. But I kid. In racing, if you touch the brakes, you're unnecessarily touch the brakes. You're taking the energy right out of your legs. You only want to touch the brakes if you absolutely have to. And now again, we're playing a dangerous game. Will we're both letting the wheels go. It's funny how similar our strategies became.
Yeah, we were just kind of looking at each other and mirroring what the other person did, which, I mean, we're trying to save the energy. We can do that.
We can do that. I hear the doggy in the background. Good boy. But we both, you're a couple wheels in front of me. Yeah, there you are. We're both in the same boat here. Like if we can't close this gap, I see it's about 2 seconds. In front of you, in front of the rider in front of you, then we're both in trouble. So like we're both kind of in the same boat. But yeah, at this point we have 700 meters to go. I'm going to see how few watts I can do from here to the finish line. But I think the key takeaways, which we both kind of implemented here, are obviously like remain in the draft as often as you possibly can if you're trying to save energy.
Yes.
And then also position yourself with respect to the hard moments on the course. That could come in the form of like a serious crosswind, or in this case, an uphill. We both managed to get ourselves into the front half of the pack right before one of the big climbs, one of the steeper climbs, so we could sag it. We didn't have to spike power. Now, this is something I talk about in the masterclass. It's a drill that you do, very similar to this one, except you are navigating the pack from front to back and then from back to front, and you just see if you can do that while remaining in the draft the entire time. So it's very similar to what we're demonstrating here. But here we come. The bridge is the marker. We're both reaching for our lap buttons, and should we spoil the results?
We can spoil the results. I think the key moment here is now we have to get back onto the pack. We have both kind of been dropped a little bit.
We're both like, all right, we can use power now. But results for the test. Hit him with it, Will.
All right, so I normalized 218 watts for our little saving energy competition. And Jeff, you normalized 208 watts. So I got beat yet again.
Got him. Got him by 10 watts, baby. Let's go.
10 watts.
Good
you
thing
did
this
good.
wasn't a who can make the most power test, because I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to go up against you on that test. But hey, fewest watts, got him. That was a lot of fun, Will. Thank you for taking the time, buddy. Thank you guys for hanging in there. We'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.